Hi everyone, Colleen here back with another video, and I wanted to shout out Skillshare for being a wonderful online learning platform for those who want to develop and acquire new skills. If you're interested in learning illustration, editing, gardening, meditation, all kind of new, amazing, powerful skills that you can use in your everyday life, you can learn it on the Skillshare platform. With thousands of classes to choose from, I found Justin Michael Williams' modern meditation classes to just be so helpful, really centered me, made me more present, and being present is a truly a skill. Go ahead and join the community over on Skillshare. The first 1,000 viewers to click on the link down below in the description box will enjoy a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. Take this time this summer to do something awesome for yourself. Now onto the video. I wanted to talk about discomfort and leaning into it, right? So I'm gonna read a post I made on my community tab. Recently, I experienced something that made me very uncomfortable. I wanted to do anything and everything to end that discomfort because sometimes the pain of discomfort is unbearable. You don't know what it will change, when it will end, who you'll turn into for better or for worse. I was listening to Joel Osteen during a hike, and he said something that I've heard before but clicked so hard and is turning into my new life mantra. We need to be comfortable being uncomfortable because that's where growth occurs. Weeping ensued because he's too right. Personal development of any kind never takes place in autopilot, never takes place in cruise control, never takes place in comfort. It's usually when it sparks fear or resistance is exactly what and when we should be doing that exact thing. Now, mind you, there's a difference between fear and intuition. Your intuition is a deep gut reaction that is quiet yet persistent, an insatiable knowing that something here isn't right. Fear is loud and instant. It's a physical reaction to discomfort, but you know, once you overcome this, once you push past this, the you on the other side is not the you right here, right now. When you feel discomfort, do not run from it. Run towards discomfort. That should be your mantra in life, but I can't speak for you. Because it prepares you for the feeling. It sets you up for success, knowing that if it's not gonna kill you, it'll make you stronger, better, more enlightened. Look for that new job. Embrace brief hunger. Say no, say yes, say hello, say goodbye. Do the thing that takes you out of your comfort zone and gets you really uneasy, because that's the you that will reach heights unknown. Uncomfortably yours, Colleen. That hike was a way I was just trying to free my mind of overthinking and trying to let go. And as a codependent, I'm not gonna claim the title, but I do have codependency traits. I have approval addiction. I suffer from wanting everyone to like me, being a people pleaser. And that came from lack of validation from my loved one, right? We'll say my loved one. What I realized when Joel Osteen said that is that as soon as you feel the resistance, that's exactly what I should be doing. I'm a person that, like, once I'm linked to someone, once I like someone, and I want to keep them in my life, and even if they're bad for me. And that's how I ended up staying in a relationship that I had no business being in for so long. I was staying with what was comfortable. I was staying with what was familiar. I like familiarity because I'm a creature of habit. I like routine. I don't like change. Most humans, they don't like change. When the thought of change comes in mind, our instincts is to challenge it, right? But what if I decided to go along with the resistance? I wouldn't grow. If I stayed in the resisting state instead of pushing past discomfort, I won't grow. Let me break down this post I made. Personal development of any kind never takes place in autopilot, cruise control, or in comfort. This can apply to a lot of things in life, right? I remember having to go to interviews after being unemployed, usually for a long stretch. I've never been a person that like job to job to job. There's usually a large gap in between each job. And that's because I either A, stay at a job because I know that job, or 2, I'm resistant to the interview process. Interviews is probably right under public speaking and a fear of mine. Imagine if I never pushed against the resistance. I would have never grown in my career. I would have never met new people. I would have never networked. I would have never given myself a chance to develop. I would just be in one position, one role, one job until they either kick me out or I retire from it. And that is the exact opposite of what growth is. That is stagnant mediocrity. When this person left my life, I was really hurt. I wouldn't say I was devastated, but I was really hurt because I'm in a new environment and that person became almost a support system for me up here. I have limited family members in this new town and that I live in, and to have a friend and someone I cared for in my life just basically die overnight, it was hard. And I wanted to chase, I wanted to fix. Hearing all of this is like, what is the matter with you? I wanted to prove my worth. I wanted to change their mind. And it wasn't even a case of I'm breaking up with you, you're breaking up with me. It was mutual because we weren't able to maintain, but the thought of losing my support system seemed dire. What am I gonna do now? Who's gonna adore me? Who's going to go out with me? Who's going to make me laugh? Who's gonna play board games with me? Who's gonna blow my phone up? Who is going to call me? Who's gonna send me good morning text? All those thoughts of losing that just made me uncomfortable. Not even scared, fearful, it made me uncomfortable, uneasy, just to even process all of those losses. But what if I took that feeling of discomfort and went with it? What if I leaned into that discomfort? I was like, okay, I really want to chase this person. That's me on autopilot, chasing. What if I did the opposite? Did something that made me uncomfortable, like not? What if I leaned into being alone and even lonely? Because I'm a serial monogamist. I've been in a relationship since I was age 16. And there comes a point in life where you either start knowing things about yourself. You start accepting things about yourself. In your 20s, you're learning. Even in your 30s, you're really in that, okay, this is who I am. This is maybe who I'm not phase of life. But you start to come to terms with who you are. I am realizing I'm allergic to being alone. But what if I eased into that discomfort and just took the time to know who Colleen is without a man, without a partner, without entertainment, without a situationship, without who's Colleen on her own? What if I don't like who I am? What if I'm just truly running from myself? What I realize is I'm in a state of constant distraction, especially when it comes to men, love, boys, relationships. The funny thing is I'm able to lean into discomfort in most other aspects of my life. When I was 23, working as a freelance production assistant for TV, to get more jobs, I needed to get a driver's license. I didn't have a driver's license. I had a permit, which takes a sit-down test to acquire. And then after you acquire your permit, you are then able to start practicing driving and eventually get your license. I had no intent on getting my license before this role required me to. It didn't even require me to. Just to get more jobs, it was a driving factor. If you have a license, you're able to work more. That appealed to me. I like the idea of working more. Working more means more money, more networking, and more opportunities. The thing is, I was frightened to death of driving. Me behind a wheel brought physical reactions. That was me. behind the driver's wheel, shaking like a leaf. I remember when I finally did reach my destination, when I was driving, I would go to the bathroom because the fear was so real. Like, you've never experienced fear until like you have to go to the bathroom after. Each time I drove, I acquired more confidence. I knew I was fearful. I knew this vehicle could be a weapon. I knew that I would have to be on highways. I knew that I had other people's lives in my hands. I knew all of these things and persisted, and eventually acquired my license and drove sprinters, minibuses, SUVs, 15-passenger vans from New York to Boston, to Pennsylvania, to New Jersey, Connecticut. Little old me, who barely wanted to drive down my local highway, was now maneuvering passenger trucks out of state. Was it easy? No. But each time it got easier, until now I am confident and cautious enough to call myself a good driver. When I first started alternate day fasting in April of 2021, the thought of fasting an entire day seemed ridiculous. The thing is that I had experience fasting. I went 16-8, which is 16 hours fasting and skipping breakfast for me, 1 meal a day, which is skipping breakfast and lunch and eating dinner for me. And I was like, okay, if I could skip that meal and that meal, why can't I skip dinner? It seemed preposterous to me, like, go a whole day without eating? No. As soon as I heard the no in my brain, I was like, okay, that's me on autopilot. That's me with my fear brain telling myself that that's not easy, because the goal is to stay in ease. That's not easy, so let's not do that. I was nervous the whole day. The whole day I wanted to self-sabotage. I wanted to self-sabotage because this is me changing who I essentially am, and that I wasn't sure of who I would turn into, because I didn't know who she was. I had been so used to being overweight, so used to failing on diet programs, so used to always needing to lose weight. Who would I be without these aspects in my life, without the constant berating of my body, without the endless torment on the scale? Who is Colleen at peace? I don't know her. So let's not go there. But I eventually succeeded on my first day, my first week, my first month. And I came to peace with, you're supposed to succeed. You're supposed to be okay in life. A year later, I lost 65 pounds. In the post, I speak of the difference between fear and intuition, and that's very important. In the process of running towards discomfort, it's important to know the difference between fear and intuition. Now, I'm an intuitive queen, self-proclaimed intuitive queen. Do I always respect my intuition? No, but she never lies to me. And I want you to know that very important aspect of your gut instincts. Your gut instincts are an evolutionized protection from ancestral caveman, like animalistic days. Your gut instincts or intuition will never lie to you. Your gut instincts, your intuition, the feeling of this innate yet consistent feeling of knowing something is either right or wrong, will never lie to you. You are wired as a human to protect yourself. We all have intuitions. Some are more tuned into their intuitions than others. I explained it as your intuition is a deep is a key word, gut reaction that is quiet yet persistent. Persistent is another key word. It'll keep nagging at you until you acknowledge what you are ignoring. An insatiable knowing that something here isn't right. Your intuition could be for both positive and negative, but usually intuition saves you from danger. Having a good sense of intuition is a part of self-awareness. Self-awareness is basically the foundation of self-growth, personal development. Intuition is a product of self-awareness. As I said, sometimes I don't listen to my intuition. Sometimes I'll know something here isn't right, and usually only after the fact I'd be like, oh, I knew I wasn't supposed to do that. Like, my intuition told me. And a lot of times when you're God-tuned, when you're attuned to the Lord, if you are spiritual or religious, He makes your intuition louder. Because intuition is quiet. Intuition is a whisper, but it's consistent. Whereas fear now, I described fear as loud and almost instant. It is a physical reaction to discomfort. So I described fear as loud and instant. Fear is usually a reflex. As soon as you hear something that you don't like, you're either paralyzed, you resist, and you hear a loud voice like, no. Fear is usually obvious to the carrier of the emotion. It's an obvious emotion, whereas intuition is not as obvious, but it's that feeling. Intuition is a feeling, where fear is an emotion, a reaction to a occurrence. Fear is having to bungee jump, online dating. So let me give you an example with the driving. Fear. I'm fearful of driving off the road. I am fearful of hurting someone with my vehicle. I'm fearful of someone judging my driving skills, right? That's a fear. An intuition would be like, this car isn't starting right. I don't know if I should drive it. And while you're turning the key to start the car, I'd be like, I feel like I shouldn't be driving this car. It won't stop. Intuition won't stop. It's kind of annoying in that way, but I feel like I should get the car checked. Something I feel like I need to get the car checked. We'll override the feeling. We'll override that feeling, but we know I need to get the car checked. I need to get the car checked. I need to get the car. It won't stop. Turning running towards discomfort into my life mantra. It hasn't been easy. I always have to remind myself that if I don't want to do it, it's exactly what I should do. And this is where fear and intuition comes in, because if you feel fear, run towards discomfort. If you feel intuition, check yourself. Check yourself. If you feel like, I don't know, my blood sugar is really low and I don't feel like ADF is for me, that could be your intuition. If you feel fear, oh my God, I'm not gonna eat food all day. What if I die? What if I fall over? That's fear. Run towards the discomfort. You know you're not gonna die. These are irrational fears. One day of fasting won't kill you. And that loud voice is steering you towards comfort, ease, autopilot. That's when you're sensing fear, that's when it's time to lean into discomfort. Apologies for the sun going in and out. As I am in a transitionary point in my life where I am finding out who I am as a 32-year-old woman, as I navigate co-parenting with my ex-partner of 8 years, as I understand my relationships with my parents and start to date, work on my body. I am taking this time to determine what is fear and what is intuition, what I should be running to and running from. And having a good amount of quiet time with yourself is key to taking the right path. I'm going to start running towards discomfort. If I don't want to work on my editing, that's exactly what I need to do. If I am prolonging writing an essay, that's exactly what I need to be doing. If I am foregoing exercise because it takes me out of my bed and into clothes, and moving my body, which I don't feel like doing, run towards. Those are all forms of discomfort. Discomfort doesn't have to be extraordinary. It doesn't have to be grand. Discomfort looks like leaving your bed. Discomfort looks like putting on workout clothes. Discomfort looks like leaving the house, doing what is annoying, those trivial tasks. But trivial tasks usually adds up into a productive day, a step towards a better you for tomorrow. Setting yourself up for acceptance that you are not stagnant, that you're able to do more. What doesn't kill you truly makes you stronger. And cliches are truly cliches because they're oversaid. They're so basic that you roll your eyes when you hear them. But when you take the time to really sit down and think about those words, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. As for you, my dear, I ask you to use the mantra of running towards discomfort as your personal development mission. Take the time to understand the difference between fear and intuition. Take the time to know yourself. Start accepting who you are and who you are not. And if there's something you'd like to change, we can work on changing it. You're not a tree, you're able to move. If this message resonated with you, I hope you give me a like so YouTube can promote it. Hopefully it'll help somebody in the future. Feel free to share it with others. If you enjoyed this content, go ahead and subscribe so you can see more. And I thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.